All right, welcome everybody. We are going to do a Mercury retrograde reading for all signs. We are going to go in order, and yes, I will do timestamps. So, welcome. I'm going to get started right away. I just want to make sure I have the right timestamps here. But we are going to start with Aries. So, Aries, let's see. The retrograde starts on the 4th or the 5th, depending on whatever. So, if you're wondering when it starts, Aries, you have this growth card. It says expect good money flow, a raise or a new job offer soon. So, again, there definitely looks to be like some sort of change during this retrograde season for you. I'll show you your other cards here in a second. But the important thing about this card is it actually says it's important to unlearn to grow as rules continue to morph and change. And you have the Tower as your middle card here. It's kind of like you could be making a change during this Mercury retrograde. So basically, you might as well say the entire month of August, by the way, for everyone. It might as well be the entire month of August. But you have this Five of Wands, and you have the Tower and the Eight of Swords. So the Five of Wands is like conflict or competition. But I feel like for you, Aries, that there could be that you could be conflicted on the change that you're going to be making, but it's clearly going to lead to a lot of growth. I actually feel that this energy, like a lot of people are going to be feeling this energy of being conflicted with the changes that they're making. But it's like weird because I feel like these changes, it's like they feel good but bad at the same time. So and I think that for you, Aries, the reason it feels that way to me with this Five of Wands is because maybe you think that you're going to set out and accomplish something during this Mercury retrograde, but you actually end up going and doing something else. But it's like your brain is still attached to the original idea. So I think as long as you can stay flexible, as this card says, that growth card says something about being flexible on it. So I think being flexible and kind of going with the flow would be a good idea for you. You also have the Tower, which of course can represent a tower moment or experiencing some sort of tower moment. Again, I think this is where the flexibility is going to come in for you. I find that Mercury retrogrades are times of truth. And the tower is falling so that these people that are falling out of the tower can see reality for how it actually is. And so the whole point of the tower is that these people inside the tower are being brought back down to reality. And so there could be like some sort of truth with that you are conflicted on, especially it feels like a goal or something, just anything where you want growth in your life. That's where I feel the conflict is coming from. But again, your last card is the Three of Swords. I'm actually going to clarify this for you as well. I'm going to clarify all 12 signs, but again, the Eight of Swords is only seeing one way of doing things when there are many ways to do things. So the whole point of the Eight of Swords is that we have to stay flexible and just look for other ways to do things. Clarifying that Tower, I actually moved the Tower, so we'll stick with it. Clarifying the Tower, you have the King of Wands, which is your card. So again, I think that you are seeing some sort of new reality in regards to whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish right now, or whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life, whatever you're trying to get off the ground, whatever you're trying to get to grow. And the King of Wands really says that you have all the control necessary to be very successful, so that's nice. You also have the King of Swords. I would be careful of other people for sure. King of Swords is a card of discernment, but it can be like a cold, calculated energy. And with the Five of Wands, it's clarifying the Five of Wands. Then, it could definitely be a person who's trying to create conflict. It might not even be a person who's trying to cause conflict. It could just be Mercury retrograde. People have a bad hair day, and they cause a problem in your life. It's kind of like that. The dominoes fall. Maybe someone has a bad day, and then they get mad at someone else who gets mad at you, and then you go home and you get mad at your spouse. It's like that type of thing is popping into my head, and I feel like we can stop those cycles before they even happen. So just if someone flips you off on the road, if someone gets mad at you or something during this Mercury retrograde, I would totally ignore it. End that cycle. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. Yes, I think plain and simple, Aries, you are moving towards something that you are definitely going to love, even though it's different than what you think. So again, I think that for the most part, this reading is just saying that you are trying to get something to grow in your life, and how you're going to get there is different than you think. The other thing I would say is that the Ace of Cups is really kind of about following your heart or following your inner voice. The Ace of Cups is moving towards things if it wants to focus. the Ace of Cups really represents moving towards things that cause your heart to overflow. And that's exactly what I would do with the Ace of Cups, is I would do more of those things that bring more love, joy, happiness into your life. And, I think that if you do that, then you'll have a perfectly fine retrograde. It looks like something is growing, but I feel like you have to let it grow during the retrograde, of course, by being flexible, like I said, staying open to different ways of doing things. So that's Aries. Welcome, everybody that's jumping in here. We're doing a Mercury retrograde reading, all 12 signs, and we are going in order. So we are on Taurus, and let me get your timestamp. Taurus, you have the Two of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Your Oracle card is this caution card. It says more going out than coming in. Reevaluate your priorities or risk a substantial loss is what that says. So I would definitely keep an eye on your finances, although this reading looks really, really good. You have the Two of Pentacles, Six of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Two of Pentacles is juggling, obviously. Two of Pentacles is about needing to have more fun in your life as well, needing to be more playful. You also have the Ace of Cups, and again, the Ace of Cups says do the things that cause your heart to overflow. So it is good for love, but it's really good for doing things that give you more energy when you do them. Hobbies, jobs, careers, whatever it is. The Two of Pentacles is kind of like this or that thinking, but the Two of Pentacles is also spinning plates, doing too much. I think definitely, I've been saying it all year since the beginning of, really 2023. I said that we're in a time where we have to simplify things, and I feel like if you're thinking, how can I think we naturally do that as people, right? If we need money or whatever, we think that we have to come up with some sort of crazy, complicated solution, and I really feel the Two of Pentacles is saying it's not a time for complicated solutions. It's a time for, simple, straightforward, keep it simple, stupid, right, type solutions, and that's what I would stick to here. Two of Pentacles is going in too many directions, and I definitely feel that. You do have the Six of Wands, though, and so the Six of Wands can represent success after a long battle. He has been to war, and now he's being celebrated coming back from war. So I definitely feel that there's plenty of attention for you for the whole entire month of August. And, again, this is for the Mercury retrograde, but, you might as well say the entire month of August. So Six of Wands, major success. I also feel like you're completing something. He has this little wreath up here on the top of his wand, and it always reminds me of the World card. So with the World card, it represents completion, and it's popping into my head that way, that you could be completing, a stage or a cycle in your life right now here, Taurus. And I feel that there is, that it's going to be good for you. I also feel there's a lot of assistance coming in for you. The white horses in the tarot can represent assistance or getting help from other people. So whatever you're working on or working towards, I feel there could be a lot of people who can, help support you or help lift you up or help get you to where you're going. You also have the Ace of Cups. Again, really wouldn't be a Taurus reading without the Queen of Cups or the Ace of Cups showing up. I literally feel it's your job to work on your heart right now. It's funny because I said in a reading I did with Scott Cruz just this last week or whatever it was. I don't know. I have no clue what day it is as usual. But I said in that interview with him that it's almost like right now as we enter into the summer, as we enter into Leo season, it's like we've all been stuck here in our throat and we're about to spit up some sort of spiritual loogie, right? And so I feel like the Ace of Cups is that little bit of a spiritual loogie that you are coughing up or that you're spitting out right now. Whatever has been stuck, has gone from your heart up to your throat that you're hoping to get out. I feel that a lot of you Taurus people could be letting it out, letting things out here, Taurus. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Devil. I think that you know exactly what things in your life are a waste of time and what things are not a waste of time. I would just cut out the wastes of time, plain and simple. I don't think there's anything more that I really need to say on this Devil card because I think it's pretty simple. I think that, again, just looking at this reading, I forgot I don't have my top camera on, but I was going to show you all three cards here. But again, I think with that Ace of Cups, it's like you know what's right for your heart. You know what's not right for your heart. It's time to let that go. You have the Five of Cups. Yeah, I think there's some sort of win or a victory kind of right behind you. There's no doubt that you could have experienced a loss or you have experienced some sort of loss over the past year or so. But I think you need to turn around. The solution to the Five of Cups is that he just has to turn around and see those two cups, and then he gets the bridge and the castle. The castle kind of represents some sort of new establishment, or something new that he is establishing in his life. So you could be establishing new ideas, new relationships, new businesses, whatever. But I think you have to let go of some past regrets as well at this time. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Strength card. Like I said, I think this is true for all Earth signs, that all Earth signs are starting to receive recognition for the strength that they have developed. So if you've been working on projects, businesses for a long time, you could be getting more recognition in those places. If you've been working on yourself for a long time, you could be getting more recognition at this time. And again, Mercury retrograde is not a bad thing. Mercury retrograde definitely can bring anything back into our lives. So if you've been doing a lot of work and then we get to the retrograde, it's like all the work that you already have done is catching up. So, again, this kind of looks like a catch-up reading to me here, Taurus. It looks like the energy is definitely catching up to you. This could definitely bring big rewards. Let me fix this real quick. All right, we're going to do Gemini now. So, Gemini, let's see. Gemini, you have the High Priestess, the Temperance card, and the Knight of Wands. You also have this Windfall card. It says, expect a sudden windfall or of money or a pay raise soon. It also says, spend money wisely. Pretty much all these cards do, but, I definitely would keep an eye on your finances. I feel that for a lot of you Gemini people, it's like money. Again, Mercury retrograde can bring money back that is owed to us. So if there's money that's owed to you from a person, that's definitely popping into my head with this card. I also feel like, again, if you have done a lot of work on a project, a business, pretty much anything else, that's where this money could be coming from work that was done in the past. And I definitely feel that here, especially I'm getting here that if you haven't been getting results, your first card is the High Priestess. The High Priestess, of course, can represent trusting your intuition, digging into mysteries, and, all that other good stuff, right? But the High Priestess can also represent unlimited potential. She has no roof over her head, and it just says that she is able or can reach heights that she never thought possible if she set her mind to it. So I think for a lot of you that this is saying that if you set your mind to something, you can probably exceed your own expectations. Now, of course, with the High Priestess, she represents mystery, and so we have to learn from things that are mysterious. If something is a mystery to you and you don't understand, if you don't understand like how to do something, High Priestess says, look behind the curtain and see how things are really done, and you will easily be able to overcome or do things that you don't think you can do. The other thing that I'm getting here is that there is a theory, we don't actually know this, but there's a theory that she has her back to the world, the High Priestess. And so sometimes we have to shut ourselves out, right? And we have to kind of go into hermit mode, if you will, even though she's the High Priestess. And I feel that a lot of you, if you have been in hermit mode, you're actually going to be more social during this Mercury retrograde. So you could find yourself socializing. I get something about like new neighbors or something. I don't know, it's popping into my head. If you're getting new neighbors, you could be forming like a really good friendship or something like that with new neighbors. It's popping into my head for some of you. You have the Temperance card. I think during this time you are going to find that you can easily find answers to overcome problems, but not even just problems. Again, with the Temperance card, we can turn a negative into a positive. We can turn a positive into a negative as well. Obviously, go the good direction. But, again, if you're trying to improve things in your life, or if you're just trying to improve your situation, I think like a little bit of research with the High Priestess would be extremely beneficial for you. She has these pomegranates behind her. Pomegranates are like the fruit of the underworld. She also has these date palms behind her. Dates are kind of like survivors. They're meant to represent survival energy in the tarot, but they also both represent sacrifices. So some of you could be sacrificing something as well. It popped into my head with both of these cards, but it's like you're sacrificing a belief, or a belief system, maybe that you can't do something or that you're not capable of doing something. And I feel like you're going on the adventure with the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is the true builder in the tarot. So even if he doesn't know how to do something, he figures it out. He builds as he goes. So he goes on an adventure. If he gets to a point where he doesn't know what he needs to do next, he just learns. He figures it out and he builds whatever he needs to build. Perfect card for you, Gemini, really, because he's very spontaneous. I think Gemini does really, really well with, random spontaneous energy. So it looks pretty good to me. Let's clarify. With the High Priestess, you have the Four Swords. Like I said, I think you've been in hermit mode, right? You've been hoping and praying for certain blessings. The High Priestess, she has that crown on her head as well. And she sees the beginning, middle, and end of every situation before she enters into it. She can see the past, present, future, or she can see the beginning, middle, and end of anything that she's about to do. And I feel that maybe you've been withdrawn or maybe you've been more isolated over the past few months, but it was probably necessary to see the future. And so maybe you are literally seeing the future during this retrograde. Well, you cannot make this up. I told you with that Temperance card, I got something about a neighbor, a new neighbor or something. You have the Three Cups. Three Cups is a card of your community, the people around you, making new friends. I'm telling you right now, if you make a new friend during this Mercury retrograde, there's something special about this friendship. What? I have no freaking clue, but it popped into my head on that Temperance card, and here you go. So I think that, this could be, it could just be like a really fulfilling friendship, or, it popped into my head as a neighbor or something like that, but whatever. Maybe you go to the gym, you meet a new friend or something. It feels like a friend, not love. It doesn't really feel like love to me. I feel like it's an important friend for whatever reason. It could be like a person who helps you get some sort of harvest as well. These three ladies are celebrating a harvest, so whatever it is very good. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. Like everyone else, everyone and their mother feels resistance right now. So I think that we're all just here to pushing through resistance. It's a specific type of resistance as well, I would say, that people are feeling right now. I feel like it's the I can't do it, resistance, where you have a goal, you have a wish, you have a dream, you have something you want to do, and you just feel you can't push past that little obstacle or barrier that's in your mind. So I feel like this is true for pretty much everyone that's alive right now. And if we push through it, and the solution of the Five of Wands is education, these people are learning how to fight. And, really it's about kind of like looking at the competition, or, if there is no competition for what you're trying to do, it's about looking for an example. And if you can look and learn from an example or competition, then you'll be very successful. So there you go, Gemini. I love that. That looks really good for you. Cancer, we are going to do Cancer. Welcome everybody that's jumping in here. We're doing all 12 signs. We're going in order. Also, yes, I did not do readings. Believe it or not, I took the weekend off. And that's why I'm going live right now, is because I took a weekend off for once in my life, right? So there you go. But let's see. Cancer. That's the wrong time. So 17. Okay, Cancer. Cancer, you have the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. You also have this unreliable card. It says you're struggling with finishing things you start. Start only one thing at a time and believe you're a finisher. Yes, I think that it is time for Cancers to kind of like finish something in their life. Especially, Knight of Pentacles, Page of Cups, Ten of Swords. That's like quitting before you get ahead, right? That's like quitting before you get started, is how that's popping into my head. So I feel for a lot of you that it is definitely, if you are thinking about starting something or doing something, that you see it all the way through to the end, even though it's a Mercury retrograde. I start things during retrogrades all the time. Some of those things I still do, that I've started many retrogrades ago. Some things I don't, right? Just how it works. But I am a big fan of starting things during retrogrades, because if you get started, number one, this looks like an idea that you probably had before the retrograde that you could be working on during this time. So if that's true, then it doesn't even matter that you're starting it during a retrograde. And Knight of Pentacles says that you have all the knowledge and wisdom necessary to get started. He has everything he needs right here, right between his two ears, but he just needs to plant seeds in that field and they will grow. So I feel it's time for a lot of you Cancers to get working on something. And for some of you, this could be love, because we have the Page of Cups here. So the Page of Cups could be an admirer or a love offer. And I do feel some of you, not all of you, maybe have your eye on a person, but you're thinking that it's going to end before it even gets started. So that might only be true for like one or two of you. If you are thinking that right now, I would, go for it. Could be an earth sign for sure, or a water sign. I would go for it based off this reading, because it looks like there's potential, although we'll clarify. Maybe it's terrible. I don't know. We'll find out. I also feel that the Page of Cups, he's got that fish in that cup there. That fish might not exist. We don't know. Just like the High Priestess, we know nothing. So that fish might be part of his imagination. And sometimes I feel the Page of Cups is you imagining doing something or creating something or building something, like a goal, wish, or dream. And you need to bring that fish down to earth. I kind of feel that the Ten of Swords is saying that something might have to end for you to start something. or you might need to bring something to an end with the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords, he's making a symbol right here with his hand, and that symbol is the same symbol the Hierophant is making, and it just represents like a blessing in disguise. So I feel a lot of you, you could be bringing something in your life to an end during this Mercury retrograde, but it's probably something that's already dead, done, over with. It's probably something that's already a stinking, rotting corpse in your life, right? Ten of Swords is something that you've been thinking about ending many times before in the past. And once you let it go, I feel like you will feel much better. And whatever, it could be anything. It could be a relationship for some of you, especially if you've dealt with a person who just isn't like getting going here. Knight of Pentacles, like no movement, too cautious, not taking any risk. So I feel some of you could be a connection that you are ending. Let's see. With the Knight of Pentacles, here you go. See, this is what it is. I think some of you could be walking away from a person who's just has no, I was going to say balls, but I'm not allowed to say balls on YouTube anymore, so I'm not going to say balls. But I feel like there's a person that has no balls in your life, and I feel like this right here is a person that has two bowling balls for balls, right? A person who's actually going to make a move, a person who's actually going to do something. So some of you could be attracting like more of an action taker or a knight in shining armor. For those of you that don't want balls, if you don't want a relationship, and even if you do, everybody needs balls from time to time, right? I gotta stop saying that. But what I would say, because I'm sure that lady's gonna leave a comment. But anyway, what I would say is, the Knight of Cups could be a dream or something that you are dreaming of creating in your life, and he is normally looking to that cup, imagining his future life. But he needs to get started. He has water in front of this desert, and if he plants seeds in that water, those seeds will grow. So I think for a lot of you, it's time to plant seeds in front of the water so that they grow. With the Page of Cups, you have the World. The World is a card of accomplishment. So I feel for some of you that this could be some sort of accomplishment, or you are accomplishing something. This is your opposite sign as well, Capricorn. So I feel a lot of you are just in your energy right now, or in your element. I also feel like you're ready for an ending, because we have the World, we have the Ten of Swords. And with the Ten of Swords, we have the Moon card. The thing with the Moon is that we don't know where we're going next. The Moon is there's a straight path down the middle of the Moon, but it is a card of kind of like mysteries and darkness and illusions and not seeing things clearly. The Moon, the secret of the Moon is we do really know where we're going. We just need to keep going forward. The Moon comes up, the Moon goes down, the Sun comes up. It's a temporary period of time. So I feel like what you are thinking is like there's nothing after an ending. If I were to sum up this balls reading into like one word, I would say, or like a bunch of words, that you are thinking about ending something. You're not sure if there's something on the other side, but there is. So, don't be afraid to bring something that isn't right to an end, is what I would say. There you go. Thank you, balls. I mean, Cancer. There you go. Leo, let's see. If you're just jumping in here, we're doing all 12 signs. Apparently, we're talking about balls today, so there you go. But Leo, let's see what is going on for you. All right, Leo. Leo, you have this, the Death card, the King of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. You also have this card that says loss on it. It says a major phase in your life is ending. Embrace the newness. Let go of what was, so you can focus your energy on what is ahead of you. I literally just said this to Cancer. So you basically have a very similar Cancer reading, or a reading that is similar to Cancer, I would say. It's like you're moving into this energy of newness. Funny enough, I just did readings, like I said, on another channel. And I was talking all about how I really feel this Leo season, basically the rest of, from now till the end of August almost, is really about kind of like letting go of one thing and innovating in life. And you have the Death card. The Death card is about transformation and change, and the Death card is about embracing the newness. This right here, this child is the only person on the Death card that is not afraid of the Death Rider. That child is holding some flowers up to the Death Rider, and it kind of represents not being afraid of the new, or not being afraid of new beginnings. The Death card makes a lot of sense right now. We have Pluto going over the cusp of of Aquarius and Capricorn. I'm sure you've all heard me say it's the death of establishment. And so I feel that, again, we could be seeing a lot of establishments crumbling around us. Basically, establishments are things that are, things that have been established in our lives, and things that have been, kind of in our lives for whatever reason. but the establishments, what I'm trying to spit out here is these could be global, but these could also be kind of like personal establishments, things that we've been doing for a long time. That's what's changing. You have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords could represent kind of like discernment. I feel like the King of Swords is the king that has been through the most battles in the tarot, and I feel that you, Leo, have been through a lot of battles. The thing with the King of Swords is that he kind of like uses that knowledge and he turns it into wisdom. So the things that he's learned, he takes those things and then he puts them into practice. It's kind of like I always say, like, if you go to like a South American country, for example, even if you've learned fluent Spanish, there are going to be things that the people there say that you're not going to understand because they might be using slang words, or they might be using certain idioms that only come from that part of the world or whatever. So that's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. It's like you can learn Spanish all day long, but until you actually go to a Spanish-speaking country, you don't really have the wisdom, right? And so I feel the reason I'm babbling on about this is I feel that for you, Leo, I feel like you are kind of like taking some things that you've learned and putting them into the real world to find out how things actually work. And this is going to be very helpful for you. You always get the Page of Pentacles. You always get, pretty much all the learning cards. Eight of Pentacles comes up for you all the time as well, Leo. These are cards of like studiousness, learning how to do something. And so I feel like it's like you have the knowledge. Like I said, I feel like you've learned a lot. You've had a lot of experiences, but it's like time to take your experiences and turn them into something. And that's what I feel is going on for you here, is that you are taking the things that you've been learning like your whole entire life. I don't care if you're 90 years old. I feel you're taking everything you learned and you could be kind of like channeling it into something like a project, a relationship, a business, an idea. Could be anything that you're basically channeling that into. With the Death card, you have the Three of Wands. What are you waiting for? I definitely feel it's time for Leos to take that leap of faith. Since like literally the first reading I did for you on my channel, or it might have been the second one, you had the Eight of Spades, because I used to only read playing cards. And since then, you always get the Eight of Swords or the Eight of Spades or something like that. And the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Spades are a card. It's basically a card of kind of like doing things differently or stepping out of a comfort zone. It's being, self-imposed restriction, only seeing one way of doing things. The Three of Wands is a card of kind of expansion and taking advantage of an opportunity. He has these boats on the water here. A lot of people say that these are ships coming in, but the boats are pointing out of the harbor. So I always look at the boats like, sure, it could represent something entering into your life, but really I feel that we need to get onto the boats. They represent an opportunity to do something different with your life, and I feel like that's where you're at. I talk about this all the time with you, Leo. I feel like a lot of you could be changing careers, businesses, the work that you do, over the next couple of years, and it will be worth it. You also have the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles is about building wealth and security. So I feel that, again, a lot of you have like all the knowledge and wisdom necessary to build wealth and security in your life, and that's what you could be doing with the King of Pentacles. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success. Yeah, I literally feel that taking that knowledge and turning it into wisdom is the thing that is going to lead to quick success. It's like you haven't peaked yet, Leo, is how I always feel for you. And I know I always repeat myself, but obviously you need to hear it. And I feel like you think you have peaked, but it's like, no, you have not experienced, the best that you possibly can. And really, I feel that's really all I need to say to Leo. It's like, Leo, you haven't even come close to reaching the top. And so if there's more you want to accomplish or do, I would get going, because, I feel there's a lot of opportunity for you here, Leo. But let's see, Virgo. Let's do Virgo. Let's see here. Virgo, you have the Fool, the Temperance card, and also the Four of Pentacles. You also have this Promoter card. It says, a new idea project has great potential for success. It says, raise your vibration to attract higher vibrational situations. I think that Virgo has been working on raising their vibration for like a very long period of time, especially in regards to relationships, but all relationships. We're not just talking, love. We're talking friendships, love, business relationships, all of them. And I feel that, for the last couple of years, or at least few years, maybe like 3 years or so, you have been kind of, working on your relationships and surrounding yourself with people of a higher vibration or whatever. And so, like I said, I feel like that's just what you're working on. This could be leading to new opportunities. Again, I feel like even maybe like some of you Virgos have like gone from one relationship to another, for example, and these new opportunities have been teaching you things very quickly. And that's kind of the energy I get off of the Fool. I feel like the Fool, I don't know, like when I read, I put myself in your shoes, and I feel like you as the Fool, it's like you've learned a lot through connections. I feel like you've learned what purity really means, with people, like people who have pure intentions. And so now that you're able to spot people with pure intentions, then I think that it's going to become like a little bit of a superpower for you moving forward. Like the superpower being able to tell the difference between, people who have pure intentions, people who do not have pure intentions. So this is good. I feel like this is allowing you to change your situation. You have the Temperance card. Mercury retrograde is a really good time for Temperance. A couple of people have already had it today in these readings, so it makes perfect sense. But with Mercury retrograde, we have the ability to revisit situations and kind of change our future. And so we can change our future because we can revisit things during Mercury retrograde. We can look at what we learned. We can look at the mistakes we made during Mercury retrograde, and we can not repeat it. So I think that for a lot of you, that's what this is saying. It's kind of like saying that you have the ability now to kind of like look at the things that you've been through and not repeat those things. And it's like a little bit of a superpower. So in a way, Virgo, I feel intuitively that you are like changing your future. You have the Four of Pentacles. Again, I feel pretty good about the Four of Pentacles for you. I kind of go back and forth on Four of Pentacles. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I don't like it. In your situation, I do like this. I think that the things that you're doing in your life are leading to stability, security, success. So it's like you're just working on building more stability and security. It's just, just that simple, right? With the Fool card, you have the Six of Wands. Yes, I feel that now is definitely a very good time for recognition for Virgo in particular. So anything, any type of attention that you desire or anything that you're trying to get attention on, now is definitely the time for more attention. Like if you work in social media, Virgo, I guarantee you if you start like posting more or whatever, you will get a lot more attention. So, but again, this goes for everyone. If you're just trying to get attention at work so you can get a raise or a promotion, this is also very, very good for you. So I would be trying to stand out. Sometimes I feel that with this card. Plus, we have the Sun on the Fool card, and the Sun is definitely a very good card for getting extra attention on the things that you're working on. So I would like try to stand out during this Mercury retrograde. With the Temperance card, you have the World card. The World is an achievement or some sort of success coming in for you. And again, another really good card for attention. Like a lot of you, didn't I say this to you recently? I'm pretty sure I did. I'm almost 1,000% sure it was you, Virgo, where I said it's almost like you are changing the way people see you. It's like you're reinventing yourself in the sense that you are stepping into the vision that you have for yourself. So you are becoming, it's almost like you're becoming a different person, but not really. I don't think you're changing necessarily. I think you are just enhancing the things about you that you want people to think about you. So again, there could be like a lot of deep work going on here for you, Virgo, on a personal level, especially like enhancing your traits or certain personality traits, or even, again, maybe you want to deliver a different message to the world, and you could be doing that. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Five of Wands again. So Five of Wands is a card of conflict and competition, but again, everybody's had this literally, practically. So I think that everyone needs to push through resistance. You might need to push through kind of like past belief systems, or if there are certain beliefs that you have from the past, you could be kind of overcoming those beliefs. Again, most of those beliefs are coming from your mother here, Virgo. Not calling you out, but just looking at Virgo, I think that a lot of you, maybe you've like dated your mother before in the past, or your father, or whatever, take it how it resonates. And I'm joking, of course, but what I'm saying is a lot of the conflict in your life probably comes from like childhood things, or how you were raised, or the people that raised you as well. That a lot of your hangups might be like money blocks from your parents, or other blockages that you have. And again, now is a great time, Mercury retrograde, to work on those things so that you can overcome them, of course. So there you go. All right, Libra, we are switching decks for Libra. Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. We are going in order, and we are on Libra. These are readings for Mercury retrograde. So, Libra, let's see what is going on for you. Libra. Libra, you have this slow card. It says making slow progress, but you're getting there. Great, is all I have to say about that. Mercury retrograde. You know, of course, Mercury retrograde is a perfect time to just take your sweet ass time doing whatever you want to do. So I wouldn't rush anything or rush into anything. I think this is saying, you know, slow and steady definitely wins the race this month. And, you know, take your time. It's like you're clearly, whatever you're working towards or working on is perfectly fine. You have the Page of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Lovers. The Page of Wands is about going on some sort of venture or following your enthusiasm. I always say, like, really, he's enthusiastic about a direction in his life, and that's it. He just gets excited about something, so he starts working his way towards it, or he goes on the adventure to go towards something that he's enthusiastic about. You have the Five of Swords and the Lovers as well. And the Five of Swords can represent, you know, winning at all cost, or can represent a separation. But really, with the Page of Wands here, the Five of Swords would represent taking a risk. So I think that some of you are about to take some sort of risk in your life, or there is a risk that you're about to take, especially, again, with this Five of Swords. I feel like this is something that you're doing again. You know, again, since we're all about theories today, there are three guys on this card, and there is a theory that all three of those guys are exactly the same person. So it basically just represents the three stages that this guy has gone through to become a winner, right? He has won, and he has won at all cost. But you could say that, you know, those are three stages that he has had to go through in his life to become a winner. It's like at first he had to lose, then he had to learn how to deal with loss, and because of that, now he's winning. And I feel for a lot of you that you are about to repeat something during this retrograde, but it will probably be a good thing for you, you know, not a bad thing. So again, I'm not saying you're going back to an ex or anything like that, but again, you could be trying love again, or you could just be revisiting something that you've tried to do in the past, and you could just be redoing it again. And like I said, it might not be exactly the same thing you did last time, but it might be very similar. Like I said, if it's love, I feel like it's a new person, but you're trying love again. If it's business, you probably already had a business, and now you're you know, starting something new, and you're just trying something new again. So that's kind of the feeling I get from your reading. It's pretty you know, pretty basic, pretty simple, Libra. Take the risk here, Libra. You have the Fool. So the Fool says take the leap of faith, you know, especially if you're thinking about taking a risk to revisit something or reinvent something. Again, I think reinvention is probably the best word for Mercury retrograde. So if you want to do something again, like let's say you had a business that failed and you want to try it again, I would like see how can you reinvent it, or how can you amplify it and make it better in some way. And I feel like that's what this the Fool card is actually saying. You know, the Fool also can represent repeating something. He has these tattered sleeves on his cloak here, and the tattered sleeves kind of say that he has been on this journey before. He has done something before, and he's about to do it again. So, like I said, another clue that you're about to go on something, like a very exciting journey. Another clue. You have the Judgment card. So the Judgment card can also say that you are going to be revisiting something or rebirthing something. Part of rebirthing something is reinventing it. So it's funny that I said that on the Fool card. I think that, you know, if you are reinventing something, it's a really good time to do that, especially if it's like a project, a business. It could be yourself as well. The whole point of the Judgment card is that they're rising up out of these coffins, and the coffin represents their old life. Outside the coffin represents their new life. So we have to step into a new reality for Judgment to be effective, you know, as far as a tarot card is concerned. And I feel a lot of you could be kind of jumping into some sort of new reality, or you could be, it's like there might be things you have to leave behind, or there might be like old attachments that you have to leave behind, and you are being called to do that at this time with the Judgment card for sure. With the Lovers, you have the Four of Pentacles. Again, Four of Pentacles is stability. It can represent holding on too tightly to the past. Again, I actually don't feel too bad about this for you either. I think someone else just had this card and I wasn't feeling all that bad about it. So again, I feel pretty good about this. I think you are just kind of like stabilizing yourself in your life. You could also be stabilizing your finances. Now that I think about it, all your readings, Libra, kind of have a central focus that are all about being resourceful. And the Four of Pentacles definitely would be kind of resourceful, or is a card kind of resourcefulness. So it might be a good time for you to just be resourceful. But that looks really good. So thank you, Libra. Let's do Scorpio and Scorpio. I just need to shuffle this real quick, Scorpio. So let's see. Scorpio, let's see. Scorpio, you have the Four of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands, really good. And you also have this teacher card that says, teach what you know, even if you aren't an expert. You have the ability to help others uncover their true potential. So some of you could be just being an example, which is probably the most spiritual thing you could do right now. I always say, Pluto going into Aquarius in November, I think everybody should just be an example, just be a living example, live your best life. And if you do that and you show other people how to do it, then you are being spiritual. Just that simple. You have the Four of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. If you're in a relationship, this looks like marriage to me. So there you go. If you are currently with a person, this could be the person that you end up staying with. If you want love, then I would say these two cards together are very good, because the King of Pentacles usually represents a person who's serious, who wants something long term, who wants to be with a person. And so I feel that's what, this could be a person who really wants something solid. The Four of Wands, like I said, can represent marriage. The thing is, for you fixed signs, there is an extra focus on creating freedom in your life. And the Four of Wands is all about setting yourself free. With the Four of Wands, we have to kind of complete something. This right here is kind of like a finish line. And so we have to cross the finish line to set ourselves free. And it looks to me like you could be wrapping something up during this retrograde to set yourself free. And it could be literally anything. So whatever that is going to be a good idea. You have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is all about your wealth. So, while I do feel like this could be a person for some of you, for most of you, I feel like this has to do with a skill. He has these grapes on his cloak. And grapes in the tarot are meant to represent something that is very difficult to grow. But it says that you have a skill that could increase your wealth. And so I think a lot of you, it's like you could be, maybe you're like leaving one job and getting a job that uses your skills so that you can have more wealth. Maybe you are leaving a business that doesn't use a skill and you're starting a business that does use a skill. And if you're doing that, I feel that there's going to be very quick success. To me, I always say Eight of Wands is like the slip and slide of life. We have to create a slip and slide with the Eight of Wands, which means we have to remove as much friction as we possibly can. Eight of Wands is all about speed, but really, again, there's another part to it, which, again, we have to make sure that we are removing the things that slow us down the most. So I think that this Mercury retrograde would be a really good time for you to remove friction, or if there are things in your life that are slowing you down, it would be a great time to get rid of those things. And as I always say, double down on the things that cause speed, that cause things to move forward faster or smoother. It doesn't even have to be speed. It could just have to do with just being efficient. And I feel a lot of you could be creating more efficiency, or just being more efficient in general with the Eight of Wands. Also, if you want love, I do feel like there could be communication with a person here. This person doesn't even know you exist. I feel like saying that. So you could be, maybe you're being a Scorpio and like spying on a person or something. And if that is for you, if they are an earth sign, then I definitely say it is true. And I feel like they would be interested, but they have to know you exist. With the Four of Wands, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is another card of completion. So the Two of Wands, he's standing at the top of this castle, and he's looking out into the world in front of him, and he thinks that there's nothing more for him to do. But the story of the Two of Wands is that if he got out into the world, and he, and he kind of just explored new ideas, he would be very successful. So I feel like that is what's going on here with the Two of Wands. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Love it. I'm telling you right now, if you're getting married or if you're meeting a person, this is amazing because Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire. Ten of Pentacles is, pretty much the best love card in the tarot. It forms a tree of life, which really represents everything you want and desire to have in your life. And so I feel you could be finding a really solid connection. Even if you don't want love, and even if you do, King of Pentacles with Ten of Pentacles is amazing. It is like total wealth and abundance coming in for you. The thing with the Ten of Pentacles is that, again, we have to learn. And you have that teacher card, which says teach what you know. But it might be a good time for you as well to learn. All the fixed signs today already have had cards of learning, if you haven't noticed. So it definitely seems to be like a fixed sign education time, or time to get education. If you're a fixed sign, I think that would lead to a lot of success. And finally here, you have this Temperance card. I feel like you've been patient enough. I feel like the Temperance card is saying you're finally getting something that you have been waiting for or have been trying to work towards. This right here is like the path to glory, and there's this glowing crown right here. And I feel that for a lot of you, you could be on this path or this journey to getting your crown here, Scorpio. So that looks really, really good, Scorpio. Love it. So thank you, Scorpio. Sagittarius, let's see what we have for you, Sagittarius. Sag. And Sagittarius, I don't know if this is going to be your final timestamp, but it was 4444 for you, Sagittarius. So there you go. Sagittarius, let's see. Timestamps will be up after the live, people. We're still live right now, so obviously there are no timestamps until after. You have this angelic help card. It says your angels are blessing you with new opportunities. There you go. So, and then you also have what I would consider to be a rebirth. And sorry, I have to sit cross-legged because I'm a 4-year-old. So hold on one second. But you have this angels are blessing you card. So I feel there are blessings, and also, just like everyone else, and it makes perfect sense with the astrology that you could be ending something at this time. You have the Ten of Swords to the Judgment card. That's like the death and then the rebirth coming up after it. So it wouldn't surprise me if you also are being blessed with something new. You have the King of Wands. King of Wands is, King of Wands could represent Aries, but I kind of feel like this is your energy that is coming in for you here, Sagittarius. So I feel for a lot of you that you are just showing up as the King of Wands. I feel like it's just saying you're bold, assertive, you're really going for what you want at this time. And so that could be leading to a lot more success for you, just because you're more in your element, right? Let's put it that way. I do find, I mean, you have Jupiter in your opposite sign as well, Gemini. And, even having Jupiter in your opposite sign is, just as good as having it in your first. So, it wouldn't surprise me if you were, even though it's not in your sign, it just wouldn't surprise me if you were standing out more, feeling more bold and assertive, feeling more motivated, and feeling like getting more stuff done day to day. And so I kind of feel, actually, again, this could be a really good Mercury retrograde for you, where you just feel motivated and ready to go. You have the Ten of Swords. So again, just like everybody else, you probably have something ending during this time. I think there's a lot of things we could talk about. I could probably spend like 4 hours talking about it, about all the things that are going on that are pretty much just encouraging people to end the old stuff and start something new. I think the simple version is that we're entering into a new world. I believe we are in the new world. All these spiritual teachers talk about the new earth. I think we're in it. We just haven't filled it with anything yet, right? So I think the rules are different. I think never ever has there been a time where you could read pieces of paper with pictures on them professionally online. That time never existed before now, right? So again, I think that's just one example. I think there are a million things that you could do, but you could be kind of like embracing new ideas or receiving blessings in the form of messages or information here. So I think that for a lot of you, there could be some, I would pay attention to your dreams, your daydreams, things like that. This right here is your higher self angel, and that angel is blessing you with, messages or, calling you, asking you to rise up. And so I feel for a lot of you, this could be, kind of like messages coming in for you that you really need to pay attention to. And it could be like dreams, daydreams, all that other stuff. Also, like I said, with the Judgment card earlier, we have to let go of the past so that we can rise up into the new with the Judgment card. So we have to let go of our old life, or we have to let go of the things from the past that are holding us back so that we can step into the new life. So I would definitely do that with the Judgment card. You have the King of Wands. I'm laughing because I said, King of Wands is Aries, but I think it's you. And here you go. You have Aries. Some of you could be dealing with an Aries. That's what we call, a backhand from the universe. The universe basically was saying to me, I know what I said. So I think that for a lot of you could be dealing with an Aries. I also do feel, though, that a lot of you could be just embracing this like very bold, assertive energy, feeling more motivated. Again, sixth house, Jupiter, if it is in your sixth house, you're going to have to look at your own chart, but just being in your opposite sign definitely could have you feeling more motivated, just ready to go. He's ready to go. He's got his armor on underneath his cloak, and it says, he's not taking action right this second on the card, but he's ready to take action when he needs to take action. So I feel that for a lot of you. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles has come up for everyone. So again, Four of Pentacles can represent holding on to the past too tightly. I do feel a lot of you could be looking to let go of the past or hoping to let go of the past or something like that. It's like you are, I almost just switched my camera again, and it just would have been blackness if I did that, Sagittarius, just like that. But I think with these two cards plus your last card of the Judgment card here, it's saying you are letting go of the past because you have Judgment. In the Ten of Swords is about realizing that you need to let go of the past. With the Judgment card, you have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is about having been disappointed in the past, and the Four of Cups says that you are receiving a new offer right here, and so I feel like you are getting a new offer in your life that will not be disappointing. This could be, for pretty much anything, but I feel like you're about to be, I feel like saying Sagittarius is about to be pleasantly surprised, so especially during this retrograde. There you go, Sag. Capricorn. Let's see what's going on for you, Capricorn. Yes, there will be timestamps for the people that are asking. Yes, I do timestamps. Capricorn, you have the Eight of Swords, the Five of Wands, and as I forget to do the timestamp, right? So let's do that. You have the Eight of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. You also have this Luck card. It says, anything you do now will be very prosperous for you. It says, if you believe that you are lucky, you'll create an abundance mindset. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Capricorn. I think this is the secret to not just right now, but I would say the next 3 years of your life are really big mindset years for you, Capricorn. So again, if you think things are going to go well, Capricorn, they will go very well. If you think things are all terrible and miserable and all that other stuff, then it'll be terrible and miserable and all that other stuff. So I would make sure that you keep it positive, that you stay focused on the good stuff, of course, brainwash yourself if you have to, and keep things moving in a positive direction. It will increase your luck if you believe in that sort of thing. You have the Eight of Swords, the Five of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords, I feel like you're coming into this reading feeling stuck, even maybe today. Today is the 28th of July, so I think even coming into this reading today, you could be feeling a little stuck, although I feel like you're feeling like just a slight little bit better and maybe a little bit less stuck than you think. I kind of feel this is a problem and a solution right here, the Five of Wands. I think part of the problem is that maybe you have some really big plans or dreams or ideas or things that you want. It's almost like the universe has put a bunch of things in front of you. This is how I see it, for you. It's like the universe has put a bunch of things in front of you, and it's like, look at all these shiny things, all these things you want. Maybe it's like a car or something else that would cost money. And it's like, but I feel like you have this very strong desire to have certain things in your life. But it's like that desire is amplified right now for you, Capricorn. I feel like it's pouring out of you. You're like, oh my God, I really want this in my life, whatever it is. And I feel like the Five of Wands is saying this is creating a little bit of conflict. And it's also making you look at your current situation and you're saying, but I'm not here yet. I'm not there yet. I don't have the things that I want and desire. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is the same thing. Ten of Pentacles is everything you want and desire in your life. I always say that the Ten of Pentacles is something that we will work on forever, for the rest of our lives. I don't think we just get the Ten of Pentacles. It's building and leaving a legacy. Obviously, you don't leave a legacy until you die. So, again, this is something that you do forever. And so I feel like you've been working on this for a long time, but I also feel like you're kind of trying to create this goodness on earth right now. Like you're trying to create the things that you want, or that, again, this desire has been built up. I feel like for whatever reason, I feel like this is desire that has been built up in your life, or right now, at this time. Like you feel almost a little bit frustrated to me. And the Ten of Pentacles is like the goal. So I think this is what you're trying to accomplish. Let's see. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Knight of Swords. I kind of feel that this is saying you could actually create things very quickly for yourself. The Knight of Swords is charging forward towards success when he's, positive. And so I feel a lot of you could be charging forward towards a new success. The Eight of Swords says, be flexible and stay open to all the ways there are to do things. But kind of the thing I'm getting here is that this is more like work. I feel like I don't really see this Eight of Swords as like you just needing to simply find another way to do things. I see it as you kind of like looking at the mountain, right? It's like you know what to do to get to this place right here, the Ten of Pentacles. It's almost like you have an idea, but you also see all the moving parts. And I feel like the Knight of Swords is saying, don't run away. He is normally going in the past direction in a reading when I have him, down on the table. And so I feel like he is saying, face the mountain, right? You can't make this up here either. With the Five of Wands, you have the Ace of Pentacles. There's a mountain right here. On the Ace of Pentacles. So mountains can represent obstacles in the tarot, but they can also represent achievements. Where do you get the best views? At the top of a mountain. So I feel the Ace of Pentacles is saying there's like a big opportunity for you. Maybe you're a little bit conflicted because of the amount of work that you're going to have to do, or maybe you think that, but who knows? Maybe it won't really be that much work. The Ace of Pentacles isn't really necessarily work. The Ace of Pentacles is about nurturing something into existence. So there's this garden right here, and the Ace of Pentacles represents watering it, feeding it, fertilizing it, giving it sunlight. So it's all about kind of, taking care of a situation, really nurturing it. So I really feel that something maybe isn't going to be as much work as you think. And I feel that this is saying that you need to kind of like make sure that you just nurture something that you're working on into existence. With the Ten of Pentacles, do I need to say it? Definitely a lot of abundance coming in here for you, Capricorn. I also feel this could say that, the work is going to be worth it. So, the Ace of Pentacles, and here's the other thing about the Ace of Pentacles, the Empress, is all she has to do is wave her scepter in front of her and she creates abundance. So I feel for a lot of you that this is basically saying all you have to do is, kind of like wave your scepter, in front of you. So this could represent like a very simple process. That's what's popping into my head. Let me back up because I feel like I jumped ahead here in my head. I think that, whatever you're working on, that, maybe you want to start a business or a new career or want to learn something new. I feel like if you create the process, it will be 10 times easier than you think it's going to be. So you could be kind of like overcomplicating something a little bit here at the beginning of your reading. And I feel that if you just find simple ways of doing things and don't overcomplicate things, obviously they'll be easier and definitely like 10 times more abundant as well. So there you go. Thank you, Capricorn. Aquarius. Let's see what we have for you, Aquarius people. And Aquarius. Aquarius, you have the Chariot, the Tower, and the Strength card. A bunch of towers today, so, again, there could be a global tower moment. It is Mercury retrograde. Every single tower moment, every single Mercury retrograde, we have a bunch of tower moments, so it wouldn't surprise me if there was like a global tower moment or something weird happening in the world, and that goes for everybody. Aquarius, you have the spell work card. It says using magic spells or manifesting power is strong. It says cast spells to remove any kind of blockages or negativity. I feel like this is talking about manifestation. You have the Chariot. The Chariot is a card of manifestation, and so we'll talk about that right now. He has these stars up here, these moons right here, and this just represents as above, so below. So he is in perfect alignment with exactly what he wants. These two sphinxes are not even attached to his Chariot because he's in alignment. So he just is trusting that because his energy is in alignment, that those sphinxes are going to bring him to where he needs to go. He doesn't really care how, who, what, when, where, why, or how he's going to get somewhere. He just trusts that he is in alignment and he gets to where he needs to go. He's also setting himself apart. And yeah, I mean, it wouldn't really surprise me. I think that, Aquarius is in this time where it's like you're starting to see these cracks in the egg that you've been living in your whole entire life. So it's like you're kind of like Leo, because Leo is your opposite, but it's like you're bursting through out of an egg, right? And I feel that the Chariot card is saying that you are kind of like in this place in your life where you're about to set yourself apart and make yourself more unique. So I feel kind of like Virgo. If you have Virgo in your chart, Aquarius, I would definitely watch the Virgo reading from this set of readings as well, because again, I kind of get this like connection between the two in my head going on. So whatever, but I feel like you're kind of setting yourself apart. You have the Chariot. It's like, the funny thing is, I mean, you have the tower, but the funny thing is, I feel like you're kind of creating tower moments for other people. I don't even think this is you. Again, a bunch of people have the tower today, so, there could be a global tower moment during Mercury retrograde. Wouldn't surprise me. We're going to have a billion of them between now and 2033 or somewhere around there. Mark my words. I said this a long time ago before all this crazy crap started coming out, and everybody's like, oh, no, nothing. And then, boom, look, I was right. So, again, I promise you, there will be a lot of different things, that pop up for you, or that pop up in the world. But on a personal level, I almost feel like you're creating a tower moment for people or a group of people or something. It's like, maybe you're thinking about leaving your job, and that would create a tower moment for the people that you work with. Maybe you're thinking about moving. Like the tower and the Chariot can just be a move. So maybe you're thinking about moving, and that will bring you into a new reality, but it could be causing a tower moment. So again, maybe not for you, but for other people. You have the Strength card. The Strength card, of course, represents strength and your strength. So I feel for a lot of you that you are creating like new levels of strength in your life. I feel like you have been very strong. I feel like you've had a lot of like little life lessons over the past like couple years as well. And what I mean by like little life lessons are just like little moments with like foot and mouth, right? We call it foot and mouth disease when you should have just put your foot in your mouth instead. And so you've had a lot of moments over the past few years where you've kind of like, stuck your foot in your mouth, or you said something you didn't want to say. I don't know why that's popping up in my head as important, but I feel like it is important for you because I think you've learned a lot from those moments, but mostly about other people. And so now that you have like learned all these things, I feel like you're just kind of like becoming a stronger person, becoming a different person in a good way. With the Chariot, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion and growth, and you have the Chariot. So some of you definitely could be moving, or you could be traveling, or just expanding out into the world at this time. I mean, I believe personally that we are in a very expansive time where there is a lot of room for growth. The reason it doesn't seem like it is because it seems like there's a lot of restriction. The restrictions that exist are just old world restrictions. I believe we need to fill this new world with better ideas and not live based off of the restrictions. So I think that for a lot of you, I get something about restriction and kind of breaking free from certain restrictions. With the Tower, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, you're rebuilding. I think a lot of you are kind of like cracking the egg. Like I said, it's like you're popping out of this egg into a new world, or your new world. And I feel this is just saying you're planting new seeds in new directions. And that's it. I think you're kind of like growing new fields, or, sowing your wild oats here, Aquarius. And I feel like that's going to be really good. With the the Strength card, you have the Five of Wands. Everybody's had the Five of Wands in all these readings, so conflict, competition. Really, I feel this Mercury retrograde, it's probably resistance that we're all feeling. We are all very like this close to maybe having a breakthrough or pushing through some sort of obstacle in our life, or overcoming something, or starting something. So it could be any of those things. And I feel the Five of Wands is saying to everyone, push through that obstacle, whatever it is. Even if you don't feel like you can do something, just do it anyway, because you'll probably push right through it and you'll get through whatever the situation is. So there you go. Thank you, Aquarius. Let's do Pisces. Pisces, thank you for your patience as always, Pisces. Let's see what is going on for you, Pisces. And Pisces. Pisces, you have the Two of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Four of Wands. You have this Gaia card. It says, trust the universe has a better plan than you do. And it also says, spend time in nature to be healed, soothed, and regroup, which is definitely true for you, Pisces. I definitely feel there is something better coming in for you. You're very similar to Capricorn, just astrologically right now. So I would, and again, if you have Capricorn in your chart, Pisces, you might want to go watch that reading. I think that your two energies are kind of matching up very nicely at this time. But what I would say here is I feel like there is something better coming in for you because you have the Two of Wands. Again, the story of the Two of Wands is that he thinks he has accomplished everything that he can accomplish in his life, but there's so much more for him to accomplish. He's looking out here at the world in front of him. He's not looking at the world that is in his hands. So I think that there is like a lot more for you to be doing in your life, and it's like you just need to let it out with the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a card of, again, knowledge and wisdom. He has a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but he needs to maybe share it with the world. You know, a lot of people consider him to be like cold or closed off or something along those lines. And so I'm not saying that you're like cold or closed off or anything, but I definitely feel it would be a good time for you to kind of like open up to being more open, more social. I think I said the same thing to Cancer as well. So it could be a little bit of a water sign thing going on at this time, where maybe water signs in general, and if you have a lot of water in your chart, I would definitely say this is true for you. Even if you're not a Pisces, I would open up and maybe be more social. So I think that could be very beneficial for you as well. I also feel that you know, at this time, Pisces, I feel a lot of people could be coming to you as like a guide. So people might be looking for help or information or guidance. And normally I would tell people Pisces not to help people because Pisces, it helps people too much, right? But in this case, I do think it would be very kind of beneficial and maybe even could increase your abundance or just help you out in general by helping other people. So I do think I get something about you being like a mentor to someone or helping guide someone, and I think it would really pay off big time. You have this Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands, of course, can represent marriage. So if you want to get married, sure, maybe you're marrying like the old man from down the street or something like that. I don't know. But the Four of Wands, you know, could represent love. I feel like if there's love coming in for you, it could be like a new person here, Pisces. And the Four of Wands is a card of freedom as well. So I think a lot of you are kind of like completing something because the Four of Wands is also a card of completion. Really, the Four of Wands comes up when we are going to complete like a project or a certain stage of our life and we're being set free by going to the next stage. And so I feel for a lot of you, that's what this could be saying, that you are kind of going to that next stage in your life and you're kind of being set free. I also, 1111, I never say that on the Four of Wands, but it's popping into my head, so I gotta say it. 1111 could be that could be like a sign or symbol for you, Pisces. You have the Nine of Wands, clarifying that Two of Wands, Pisces. So the Nine of Wands is like the wounded warrior, and maybe this is why you're holding yourself back from the world on the Two of Wands, is you have wounds or, you know, spiritual wounds or heart wounds or whatever you want to call it. And I feel like the Nine of Wands is saying, actually, during this Mercury retrograde, it would be a great time for you to go inside. You know, Mercury retrograde, great time for introspection or, you know, kind of like self-development work, things like that. So I think it would be a great time to heal those things so that you can open up to something new. And I feel for a lot of you, this is saying, you know, it'd be a great time for healing, but also trying again. Nine of Wands says don't give up. You have the Nine of Cups. Yes, Nine of Cups is a card of bathing in the energy of what you desire. So Nine of Cups is a card of wishes and wish fulfillment, but really the true meaning of the Nine of Cups is to be the thing that you want to be. So it doesn't say fake it till you make it. It says, which I don't like. I do not like fake it till you make it. I think we can all just step into the energy of what we want and we can become it. And so the Nine of Cups says, if there's something you want, then just be it. You know, if you want love, you have to be in love. So go be in love with yourself. Go be in love with your dog or your cat or nature, like that card says. If you want money, go be around money, right? Go pick up pennies in the parking lot. And people think I'm kidding, but it's like when you do that, you're finding abundance all over the place and you're telling the universe, I'll do what it takes for abundance. And then before you know it, you'll probably have abundance. So Nine of Cups says do that. Also, Nine of Cups also says that he has these cups behind him. there is a theory that he is deciding who to give those cups to. So again, it is, like I said, I think you could be giving to an important person or like mentoring someone this month, but I would also say, be careful of who you give to. Make sure you're giving to people who also, return the favor. With the Four of Wands, yes, spicy Pisces. I feel like there could be a spicy new connection coming in for some of you. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. Four of Wands is also kind of like out with the old, in with the new. You have to complete one thing, and then you have to start something else. So I feel for a lot of you, you could be starting a new project or a new business or something. And the Ace of Wands says follow your desire. So your desires are leading you with the Four of Wands. So there you go. Thank you, Pisces. We'll do a collective as well. So collective, let's see what we get for you, collective people. Let's see, collective. So for the collective, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. For the collective, we have this workaholic card. It says having a strong work ethic and giving it 110% all of the time. It says hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I actually feel like everybody in the collective is going to be feeling very motivated. So again, it could be one of those retrogrades where people really feel more motivated, more energetic, not the other way around. I would say that I do think it's a good time to practice taking a rest or getting rest or taking a break. We have Mars going retrograde at the end of the year, pretty much in the same area of the sky in Leo. This Mercury retrograde's in Leo, and also Mars going retrograde in Leo at the end of the year. And so I kind of feel it's like a little bit of practice for when we get there. Leo is kind of like our life force, our vitality. And so when Mars goes retrograde there, you're going to want to have energy saved up. So if you feel like working, work. If you feel like resting and sleeping, rest and sleep. Like practice collecting your energy so that when we get to the end of the year, you have more than enough energy to get through the end of the year. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Queen of Pentacles is a card of resourcefulness. I think that it's a good idea for everyone to practice resourcefulness at this time. We are literally in a time of resourcefulness. Why do you think all this weird stuff is happening with money and all that other stuff? So Queen of Pentacles doesn't say don't spend money. She just says, be resourceful. If you can do something for cheaper, or, if you can get things on sale, or if you can find a better way to make money, or any of that, that's what I would be looking for, and that's what I would be studying with the Queen of Pentacles. Collective has the Seven of Cups as well. Big dreams at this time. We have Neptune and Pisces. We also have Saturn and Pisces. So Neptune and Pisces is your crazy ass idea. Saturn and Pisces says get your ass moving. And if you actually start working on that crazy idea, then you might just create whatever it is. So I think we are in a time of big dreams. Neptune's going retrograde as well. It is, and Saturn. And so, again, I think that now is the perfect time with Neptune going retrograde to kind of like take that crazy idea and ground it in reality. When you think about it, when it's moving forward, being on Neptune would be like being under 100 hurricanes going 10,000 miles an hour with, high seas, waves, 200 feet tall, the craziest thing you could possibly imagine, right? So now that Neptune is going retrograde, it's kind of like calming down. And now is the time where we could manifest our wildest dreams if we put the work in. So I would make sure to put the work in with that Seven of Cups. You have the Eight of Wands collective. And let me just do this real quick. The Eight of Wands is quick success or a quick conclusion. The Eight of Wands is also good news. But also remember what I said earlier about the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like the slip and slide of life. We have to, and I think this is what everybody should be doing until like 2033. So, almost the next 10 years. I think we all need to be paying very close attention to what causes friction, and we need to pay very close attention to what removes friction from our life and speeds things up. As long as we double down on those things that speed things up or make things more efficient, we will be like 30 times more successful than we normally would be. So make sure you're paying attention. With the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Hierophant. Yeah, love is changing. So I think that for those of you that want love or marriage, love is changing. I also feel that this could be the opportunity for blessings. He is blessing these two people in front of him here. So I really do feel that there could be like a really solid opportunity to receive some blessings in your life. With the Seven of Cups, you have the Two of Cups. Yeah, I think people need to like stop dreaming about relationships at this time as well. So Neptune going retrograde is great because it's like part of my problem with Neptune, especially in Pisces, is it's like the fantasy. It's just mental masturbation, basically. It's like the fantasy feels better than the reality, or actually, you don't know. Because what happens with Neptune and Pisces with relationships is like we get into a relationship, but maybe we just are like talking to the person, right? Or maybe we are just texting the person, and we develop this fantasy around the connection. So the fantasy, we kind of don't want to lose the fantasy, so then we never make it a reality. And right now, with Neptune going retrograde, it's time to, make that fantasy a reality. This could be love, but the Two of Cups could also just be something that you will love in your life. It could, Two of Cups can be you and your higher self, and your higher self is trying to communicate with you, which showed up like 20 times today in all the readings, right? So clearly it's a very spiritual time, and Mercury retrograde can be very spiritual. So I think we have to, if our higher self is telling us to do something, we need to like manifest whatever that is down on earth. With the Eight of Wands, you also have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles says get to work. Eight of Pentacles is, what's more important than that, though, what I really want to say here, collective, is that Eight of Pentacles is about looking at your work. It's about seeing how much work you have already done. It's about looking at what you have already accomplished and putting that into perspective. Sometimes I think we need to back up and look at everything that we've accomplished, because then it makes the next thing we're about to do 20 times easier. Because if you're too focused on work, you're not seeing that what you're about to do could be easier, and I feel like this is saying, it's like you already have all this knowledge and wisdom, which came up a lot during these readings, and now by putting things into work or putting things into practice, you'll be able to accomplish something, the next thing, much easier or faster or whatever. So there you go. Thank you everybody for being here. Really appreciate it. I will be that's that. I'll have timestamps up in like 10 minutes or so, something like that. So thank you for being here. There won't be. I took the weekend off, so there won't be readings tomorrow on Monday, but on Tuesday we'll be back to the regular schedule. So thank you, and definitely enjoy the rest of your weekend.